Hello, everyone. We're here with Arista for their tech showcase to talk to you a little bit about Arista technologies. And as often happens when things are live and in real time, every now and then communications break down and the right person doesn't get the right message. And we have a savior who has stepped into the room. Ian is actually, well, you're on vacation right now, right?
I am indeed, sir. Yes, I was meant to be sitting in a bar at this moment in time, drinking a whiskey or four, but hey.
Yeah, so he has taken the time to step in and let you know a little bit about Arista. And what he's going to talk about today for a little while is Arista Wireless QoE, or quality of experience. So, Ian, I'll just let you take it away and talk about these technologies Arista offers.
Thank you very much. And as well, Tom, I need to share this screen as well, if possible. So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Ian Tell. I'm a Wi-Fi specialist for Arista. What I'm going to talk to you about today is the Arista Wi-Fi quality. Slightly different from most of the APs that are in the marketplace, because we use a lot of memory, we use quad-core processors, and we have the capability to look at the applications, and where we've been using those applications, we actually build and train a model. So, for example, in this world of COVID, right now we're using Zoom, and we want to know whether you're having a good user experience or a bad user experience using the Wi-Fi.
Sure.
Well, what we do is we I'd like to show this on a screen if possible, but we have we look at the applications and we select 7 applications that we've got in our system. We actually have 1,900 applications, but you don't want to go looking at all of that. So we have 7 applications, all voice specific. So WebEx, Zoom, Link, Teams, all those. And we build a machine, we built a model using machine learning to understand what is a good user experience or a bad user experience.
Okay.
And we can tell when that comes in on the Ethernet port, whether it's coming in from the wired side of the network, or if it's going out of the Ethernet port, whether it's coming from the wireless side of the network. Because I want to be able to differentiate between it's the wired network or it's the Wi-Fi network. Because with Wi-Fi, we know it could be noisy, it could be a bad environment. I could be getting high retries. I could get any number of things that affect my Wi-Fi capability. So what we'll do is we'll take a 30-second sample of it coming in on the Ethernet port and compare it to the models that we have. So these are trained models to understand latency, loss, jitter, bit rate, and we understand whether you're having a good user. The last guy that was on this call, you could hear his voice was dropping out. Sure. Well, that's a bad user experience. Mm-hmm. So what he's going to do, he's going to call the help desk and say, the Wi-Fi doesn't work properly, I can't get on the Wi-Fi, because it's always the Wi-Fi. And because our system has the capability to allow you to go back in time, i.e. we have 30 days worth of data from any client that is associated or authenticated to the Wi-Fi network. And when we say data, I don't mean emails or web browser. I mean, four-way handshakes, EPOL timeouts, DNS issues, DHCP issues.
Sure.
But we store that and we hold that in the cloud for 30 days. So if you rang up Tom and said, I can't get on the Wi-Fi, I had a really bad call, the call keeps dropping in and out, I can actually select your MAC address, your username, I can drill down into you, and I can see whether you were having a problem on the Wi-Fi side of the network, on the wired side of the network. Well, of course, if you're having problems on the Wi-Fi side of the network, I'm going to dig down a little deeper into this, and I'm going to try and work out, well, what caused Tom Carpenter to have a problem on his Wi-Fi call? And then I'm going to start looking at the data that we've held and we've captured, and that historical data is going to allow me to troubleshoot, fix, monitor, and actually, hopefully, resolve your problem without you leaving your desk. We've got a remote access point coming out shortly where we're going to be able to do this for home users. So I'm going to be able to drill down into the application of a guy that's sitting at his desk anywhere around the world and tell you what the application is doing. I can tell you whether the application is performing well or performing badly. If the application is performing badly because of the Wi-Fi, I can look at the Wi-Fi around you. I can look at neighboring APs. I can see what channels they're on. I can see I can see whether you have a high number of retries. I can actually see whether it's a problem connected to the switch port. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to give you visibility of the applications and how they're performing at the actual end user. Because the Wi-Fi nowadays is a transport mechanism. And we all make the same APs, really. We all do the same sort of thing, but it's about the visibility of what the application can do for me. And if I build AI and machine learning into this, actually, our system will tell you, if I select that client, it will do a root cause analysis on Tom Carpenter and say, Tom, you don't have a performance problem, but you have this issue.
Well, please don't do that.
Well,
I don't want you to do a root cause analysis on me.
Tom,
You know what will be uncovered?
So, guys, I've been pulled in left field to try and do this for you. So I brought my mate Spider-Man along just in case as well. I'm actually standing in my home office and I couldn't get him off the wall in time. But the point about our system is we're using this analytics to tell you what the application is doing. Yeah. Of course, we meet the Wi-Fi standards. Yes, we have Wi-Fi 6. We're working towards Wi-Fi 6E. There's a lot of good things that we're doing. If anybody actually wants to see this going live, either reach out to myself or in our area, and we can get demonstrations set up for you on this.
Absolutely, and make sure you do go to the exhibit area because you can register to schedule a meeting with Arista there and get in touch with people there. Excellent opportunity, definitely. And I will tell you, I think that's very interesting that the extension of this into the home. And I do think in the future that we have, even with COVID, and even if we tackle and win the war and we move on beyond COVID, it's going to permanently change a lot of things around the world. There are going to be a lot of companies implementing teleworkers at a much greater level than they did in the past because they all of a sudden, guess what they've just realized? These people can get their job done with quality and productivity from home. So maybe we keep doing that for a lot of our employees. And so that kind of service and feature, it's going to be really valuable.
And that's what we're trying to enable. We're trying to enable them to have a good level of service at home, but be supported easily with a management platform that gives you that visibility without having to dig down into loads of logs to go, well, there's the problem, but what does that mean? The system should tell you in simple terms that this has happened and this is the root cause and this is why it's broken. We were talking about here with home workers. If you think about education now, if I have a classroom where I used to have 30 or 40 students in a classroom, well, now I have to space that out and I have to split the classrooms. So actually what I could do is I could have a Zoom session going into a classroom next door with the students on the same Zoom session. So it's just as important from an education perspective or a business perspective that we can provide that.
That's true. Well, that's excellent information, Ian. And I'm telling you, you came in and you did it amazingly well. And I don't know about Spider-Man. I can't speak for him, but I can say that you are a valuable employee for Arista because you came in, you did a great job, you presented them well. You're not standing there with notes and having prepared for 2 weeks to give this talk, and yet you did a great job. So thank you very much, sir. We appreciate you being here with us today.
Anytime. It's always my pleasure.
All right. Take care. And everyone, make sure you check out the exhibitor area and take a look at what Arista has to offer there. And again, Ian, thanks for stopping by.
No problem. Good night, guys.
All right.
Cheers.